Think about the last time you tried to explain a dream. You had the visuals, the feelings, the absolute vibe of it, but the moment you opened your mouth, it all turned into a clumsy mess of likes and ums. That's because human language is a bottleneck. It's an ancient, analog technology, trying to process a high-speed, digital soul. But what if we finally broke that bottleneck? Elon Musk, Kernel, and a dozen other labs are already building the bridge. We're talking about brain-computer interfaces that don't just help us type, they promise to let us share thoughts. Direct, pure, unadulterated data from my brain to yours. No words required. It sounds like the ultimate upgrade, right? A world where misunderstandings die and empathy is literal. But here's the kicker. Language isn't just a tool we use, it's the OS our brain runs on. If we delete the words to make room for the data, what happens to the culture, the nuance, and the you that lives inside the silence? Are we on the verge of becoming a godlike collective, or are we just formatting our individuality to fit into a universal hive mind? I'm the Star Raccoon, and today we're looking at why the end of talking might be the loudest thing to ever happen to humanity. Let's dive in. Now, you might be thinking, so what if English, or French, or Kazakh goes away? If I can beam my feelings directly into your cortex, isn't that just better? Well, here's the thing. Language isn't just a code we use to label stuff, it's a lens. In linguistics, there's this idea called the Sapir-Whorf hypothesis, which basically says the language you speak shapes the way you perceive reality. For example, some cultures have dozens of words for snow or ice, allowing them to see nuances a tropical city dweller would never notice. Some languages don't even have a future tense, making their speakers statistically more likely to save money because the future feels just as real as today. When we communicate through a brain-computer interface, we're likely going to use a standardized digital protocol. Think of it like a universal file format, like a .pdf for your brain. It's efficient, sure, it's fast, but it's also compressed. In the race for efficiency, we lose the fluff, we lose the poetry, the regional slang, the untranslatable words like saudade or gezelligheid that carry centuries of history and emotion. If everyone starts thinking in the same digital shorthand, we aren't just losing languages, we're losing unique ways of being human. We're trading a world of vibrant, messy, colorful oil paintings for a single, gray, high-resolution photograph. It's accurate, but is it us? And if we all start using the same mental operating system to avoid bugs in communication, how long until we all start thinking the exact same way? That's where the efficiency trap turns into something much more hive-like.
All right, let's get weird, because this is where we move from cool gadget to existential crisis. Imagine your brain is a single browser tab. Right now, you're running your own searches, watching your own videos, and closing the tabs you don't like. But the moment we all plug into a shared neural network, we aren't separate browser windows anymore. We become tabs in one massive, global window. And guess what? There is no incognito mode for your soul. In a world of direct thought sharing, the boundary between me and we begins to dissolve. Think about how fast a meme or a viral trend spreads on the internet today. Now, imagine that trend, or an emotion, or a political bias, spreading at the speed of a synapse. If your neighbor is feeling intense anger, and you're digitally linked to their emotional state, is that anger yours now too? This is the hive mind trap. Evolution spent millions of years building walls around our individual minds so we could develop unique personalities, secrets, and internal worlds. But a global neural net tears those walls down. Without those walls, we risk creating the ultimate echo chamber. If we all share the same data, the same feelings, and the same optimal thoughts, do we eventually stop disagreeing? Sounds peaceful, right? But disagreement is the engine of innovation. If everyone is thinking the same thing, it means nobody is really thinking at all. We're talking about a future where I think, therefore I am, turns into we sync, therefore we are. And in that world, the Star Raccoon, and you, and everyone you love, might just become a single neuron in a giant planetary brain that doesn't care about your individual dreams. So, how do we stop the global we from deleting the individual me?
Alright, let's talk about the terms and conditions of the future. Because, let's be real, we can't even keep our email passwords safe. Now imagine a hacker isn't just after your credit card, they're after your subconscious. Think about it. If your brain is connected to a network, it has an IP address. And if it has an IP address, it can be pinged, prodded, and hijacked. We're talking about brainjacking. A world where a virus doesn't just crash your computer, it makes you forget why you walked into a room. Or worse, changes how you feel about your best friend. And don't even get me started on the advertisers. You think YouTube ads are annoying? Imagine a corporate, deep thought ad beamed directly into your REM cycle. You wake up with an inexplicable, burning desire to buy a specific brand of hyper cereal because a corporation rented space in your dreams. That's not just intrusive, it's a violation of the last private sanctuary we have, our inner thoughts. But before you go full Luddite and toss your Neuralink into a black hole, there is a flip side, a bright side. Imagine instant learning. Instead of spending years studying, you just download Quantum Physics 101 or How to Play the Galactic Cello directly into your motor cortex. Done. Imagine total, literal empathy. You don't have to try to understand someone else's pain or joy. You can actually feel it. Loneliness? Extinct. Misunderstanding? A thing of the past. We could coordinate millions of people to solve climate change, or build a Dyson sphere with the synchronization of a single organism. The tech isn't evil, it's just powerful. It's the ultimate tool, but every tool needs a handle. And right now, we're still trying to figure out if we're the ones holding the hammer, or if we're the nail. So, where does that leave us? Are we destined to become a silent, hyper-efficient swarm, or can we find a middle ground? The truth is, humanity has always been about expanding our reach. We went from grunts to speech, from ink to printing presses, and from wires to the wireless web. Brain-to-brain communication is just the next logical step in our long journey to finally, truly understand one another. But as we build these digital bridges between our minds, we have to be careful not to burn down the houses we live in. Our individuality, our weird, messy, private thoughts is what makes us creative. It's what makes us, us. If we lose the ability to be alone with our own thoughts, we might lose the very things that are worth sharing in the first place. Efficiency is great for machines, but humans? We are beautifully, wonderfully inefficient. We tell jokes that don't land, we write poems that don't rhyme, and we use 1,000 words just to say, I love you, when a single data pulse would be faster. But it's in that wasteful space that culture is born. As we move toward the silent upgrade, let's promise to keep some secrets. Let's keep our languages alive, even if they're slower than a Neuralink. Because sometimes, the most important things aren't the ones we can download. They're the ones we have to struggle to say. I'm the Star Raccoon, and while I still have to use these clunky things called words to reach you, thank you for listening. What do you think? Would you plug into a global mind if it meant world peace? Or is your privacy worth more than utopia? Let us know in the comments. While we still have a comment section, and not just a shared subconscious. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to keep your brain updated with the latest from Critterion. See you in the next orbit.